Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Nick Aldis has been serving as SmackDown's general manager for the past few years. However, he was nowhere to be seen on the recent episode of the Blue Brand, and Raw general manager Adam Pearce temporarily took over his duties. Aldis' sudden absence from the show raised several questions among fans, sparking various rumors. However, Nick Aldis didn't leave WWE. He just took time off from his duties and obligations to spend some time outside the wrestling realm. The 38-year-old was seemingly on a short vacation in France along with his wife, Mickie James. He was probably en Béziers to accompany James, who was set to participate in a wrestling event organized by ABC Catch. However, it is not the first time he has been absent from the show. There have been a few occasions in the past when the SmackDown GM has taken a short break from WWE. Aldis holds a high-pressure role in the Stamford-based promotion, which involves significant responsibilities that can potentially lead to exhaustion. As a result, he might have taken a break to rejuvenate himself. Meanwhile, Adam Pearce handled all the chaos that unfolded on SmackDown in Nick Aldis' absence. However, Pearce replacing him isn't a permanent move as Aldis will return next week to take charge of the Blue Brand once again. Is Nick Aldis tied to another role in WWE? Nick Aldis is better known to fans for his role as SmackDown's general manager. He has been a stern authoritarian figure on the Blue Brand, maintaining decorum on the show. However, that is not the only role the 38-year-old has in the Stamford-based promotion. Aldis has additional responsibilities as he serves as a backstage producer in WWE. The veteran works behind the scenes to ensure the smooth execution of matches and segments. His producer duties include match planning and coordination, providing creative input, producing segments, and numerous other tasks. Nick Aldis' dual role as SmackDown's general manager and producer makes him one of WWE's busiest personalities. While the on-screen general manager role requires weekly appearances on the shows, the producer role demands meticulous planning and creative collaboration behind the scenes. Well, the combination of these responsibilities, alongside WWE's demanding travel schedule for its shows, surely creates a high-pressure environment that can be exhausting. As a result, Aldis takes time off in between to recharge himself, releasing the stress and fatigue of being a WWE official. Nick Aldis replaced on WWE SmackDown and reason why. Nick Aldis has been replaced on WWE SmackDown. The general manager was nowhere to be seen on the show this week. In what seems to be Adam Pearce returning a favor to Nick Aldis, the star has been replaced by the Raw general manager. Aldis filled in for Pearce for multiple weeks last month, and now, it seems that Pearce has stepped up. It has not been stated how long this exchange will be taking place, with Aldis potentially gone for a long time while he takes some time off. He had commented on taking a vacation when commenting on his wife's picture last week. Adam Pearce announced that he was replacing Aldis, telling Kathy Kelly when the interviewer asked him the question. This was Kelly's first night back in WWE after some time, with her missing quite a few shows recently as well. He had his work cut out for him tonight already, with an accident to start off the night. He was also involved as Jacob Fatu had to be taken into custody by police as a person of interest. The situation with law enforcement officials continued as the show went on, with Fatu being returned by the police after footage was found that cleared him. Instead, Solo Sikoa was then arrested and taken into custody, making for quite the twist during SmackDown. It remains to be seen when Nick Aldis returns to WWE SmackDown and how long his vacation lasts. Nick Aldis might announce 42-year-old WWE star is permanently back on SmackDown tonight. Over the past few months, WWE has been showcasing inter-brand feuds with superstars going from one roster to another. The concept of brand split dissipated a long time ago, and various talents from SmackDown have been feuding on Raw lately. Well, it also includes a top star who has been the cornerstone of Nick Aldis' brand for the past few years. LA Knight is one of the major names of the SmackDown roster. However, the 42-year-old has been feuding with Seth Rollins and his faction on Raw for the past few weeks. It looks like this feud has officially come to an end at Saturday night's main event. Aldis could announce that Knight is permanently back on the Blue Brand on tonight's episode of the show. The megastar secured a huge victory over Rollins at Saturday night's main event this past weekend. Regardless of how it came, a win is a win, and that was perhaps a major indication that their feud has culminated. What added more weight to this was the fact that LA Knight also lost the gauntlet match on Raw, something that could have kept him tied to the brand. Moreover, There was no continuation of his feud with the Visionaries faction despite SummerSlam being just 2 weeks away. Instead, the storyline has shifted to a whole new direction on the Red brand. A returning Roman Reigns and Jey Uso stood against Seth Rollins' stablemates. This is another indication that LA Knight's storyline on Raw is over for now. There is a good chance that Nick Aldis could welcome him back on SmackDown tonight. The Blue brand has been the megastar's home for the past 3 years, and he is expected to remain a part of it for now, at least until the WWE draft. Knight could get involved in a major storyline on the brand that could eventually lead to his SummerSlam match. Nick Aldis might put LA Knight in a battle royal at WWE SummerSlam. WWE is set to host the biggest edition of SummerSlam this year, as it will be a 2-night event for the first time in history. This will allow WWE to feature more superstars on the show on both nights. Apart from the matches, the company could host a battle royal at the annual spectacle this year. And if that happens, Nick Aldis might feature LA Knight in that potential contest. The Stamford-based promotion hosted a Slim Jim Battle Royal at SummerSlam 2023, which was a major sponsorship deal with Slim Jim. It was a notable event where the megastar emerged victorious. The contest worked as a springboard to Knight's rise on the main roster. With SummerSlam 2025 being held on 2 nights, WWE can host a similar battle royal this year, featuring all the mid-card superstars like Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, and others who have been deprived of the spotlight. A major reason why Nick Aldis could put LA Knight in such a contest, if it happens, is that the 42-year-old is currently not involved in any storyline. Only 3 episodes of SmackDown are left before SummerSlam, and there is no adequate time to build a major singles feud for Knight on the roster. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nick Aldis, and I've got a statement, no, a revelation, that will shake the very foundations of SmackDown. For weeks now, speculation has swirled in locker rooms backstage and across the wrestling world at large. Who would come back to change everything? Who would alter the trajectory of Friday Night SmackDown forever? Tonight, we address that head-on. Standing before you isn't just any announcement. Tonight, SmackDown takes a monumental step forward. Tonight we reintegrate one of WWE's most iconic performers, back to where he belongs. On SmackDown, permanently. So buckle up. Because tonight, we announce the permanent return of a 42-year-old WWE superstar, a veteran who has thrilled millions, a performer who has achieved greatness in every era, and who is about to embark on the grandest chapter yet, here, every week on SmackDown. Without further ado, allow me to introduce Braxton Maddox. Light flashes, the crowd erupts as cinematic footage of Braxton Maddox highlights, his signature moves, championship shots, iconic promos, plays on the Titantron. That's right, 42 years young, athlete, entertainer, legend, and starting tonight, Braxton Maddox is officially back. On SmackDown. Permanently. Why this matters. First, why Braxton Maddox? At 42, he's both seasoned and still lethal in the ring. His prime may have started decades ago, but just look at what he can do now, the muscle memory, the ring IQ, the crowd connection. The man's not just powerful, he's polished. Second, what does permanent mean? It means every Friday night, you'll see him on SmackDown. He's not a special attraction. He's not a guest star. He is roster. And the stage? That's yours, SmackDown fans. He owns it, and he's coming for business. Braxton Maddox, the legend behind the name. Braxton Maddox debuted in 2004. In the years since, he has held multiple WWE titles, main evented pay-per-views, headlined major live events, and delivered promos that will go down in wrestling history. He's had legendary rivalries, classic matches, and moments that define eras. At 42, some might ask, isn't that past the ideal age for a top WWE superstar? But here's what Braxton brings at this age: experience, battle-hardened responses to pressure, wisdom, decisions in the ring that younger stars spend years learning, and legacy, a resonant star power that elevates every storyline. Perhaps most importantly, he still loves the craft. Retirement wasn't an option, not when his fire still burned so brightly. The impact on SmackDown. What happens now? What's next? New rivalries. Braxton steps into fresh feuds with younger stars, creating generational clashes. Whether it's the new title contenders or rising talents, they now face one of the greatest of all time, every single week. Mentorship on display. Expect backstage segments where Maddox shares wisdom, motivating, challenging, shaping younger athletes who respect him but still desperately want to prove themselves. Main event potential: Braxton is already in line for major championship shots. His presence ensures SmackDown's storylines stay must-watch. Elevating the brand, his global fan base brings added attention to SmackDown. Media, social buzz, merch, it's all amping up. The moment it all became official. This announcement is more than scripted. Earlier today backstage, in front of complete SmackDown personnel, the long-rumored return was finalized. Contracts signed. Plans hashed out. And that's when I got the call: "Nick, make it official. The fans deserve to hear it, tonight." That's how major this is. WWE doesn't just do big returns, they do them when every detail is locked. And so here we stand, fully committed. Braxton Maddox is here. Tonight. Forever. A message to the fans. To the lifelong fans who grew up watching Braxton, thank you. Your support brought him here. To the new generation who may still be discovering his brilliance, brace yourselves. You'll learn very quickly why legends are called legends. And to everyone tuning in, your Fridays have just become essential television. Tune in, stream it, follow it live, because Braxton Maddox returns, and there's no rewinding this. Ladies and gentlemen, the WWE Universe is evolving. The new era of SmackDown begins now, and it begins with Braxton Maddox, back, reigning, and resolving to show the world what 42 years old can really do. Closing SmackDown tonight. Stick around, because after I leave this stage, SmackDown won't be the same. Braxton Maddox will be in action, making his first SmackDown appearance in what feels like days, but it's been long enough to make his return one of the most felt comebacks in recent memory. Matches will unfold. Storylines will pivot. And as the show closes, you can bet one phrase will echo in every fan's mind. Braxton Maddox is permanently back on SmackDown. Forever. Enjoy the show. Nick Aldis, signing off. Epilogue/notes, optional. Braxton's return isn't just a nostalgia trip, it's a launchpad for new rivalries and fresh contenders. His veteran status legitimizes any storyline. At 42, he's hitting phenomenal shape, not chiseled in spite of age, but inspired by it. His health, performance, mic work, all peaked. Permanent return means long-term booking, weekly television, and a pivotal role in SmackDown's trajectory leading into upcoming events like Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania season. Expect high-profile TV promos, magazine features, digital content, international marketing, with Braxton at the center. Let me know if you'd like in-ring promo scripts, backstage reaction ideas, storyline teasers, or how this could play out over the next few pay-per-views.